So we'll be watching Taroona running from right to left. Launceston will be kicking off. Quick look there at the Launceston side before we start. Bring up the Taroona side soon. Looking pretty much at full strength here, Launceston. And we are away. So ball kicked very deep there. Taken by Dewingham for Taroona. Doesn't kick. Runs it to the centre of the field. Gives it to Kazarine, who's met by a wall of black, red and yellow. And Lagrange comes in and he kicks. He's not going to find touch. He is going to find the fullback of Leone Vonayao though. But an error out there from Launceston sees Taroona with a scrum. And they'll be putting that scrum down about 25 metres from their line. A little bit of a swirly breeze out here today. It seems to be blowing a little bit left to right, maybe impacting on the kicks of the Penguins. And good push in the scrum there from Launceston, but Taroona locks it up and the ball goes to Tuivasa, who makes it past the tackle of Peters, bumps off his opposite centre. And Noah Kazarine spots some grass deep. Vonayao bounces badly for him. Eventually he gets it. Chaperone Tucker was on the money there, but it didn't bounce for him either. And Taroona going to be penalised now, I think, going off their feet. Anthony Lean got his hands on that ball, but lost his footing. And Launceston now with the ball, looking to make an attack out of their own defensive half, though. Ball comes out to Kelani Yavatoka. Can't take it, so scrappy play from both teams so far. Launceston need to just shore things up a little bit here. They're looking a little bit uncertain, a little bit anxious maybe. A few ball handling mistakes from them, but they'll have the penalty against Anthony Lean for going off his feet. And Agaiava with the kick is a cracker and takes the ball inside Taroona's 22. So you can see that's a big kick there. He's probably roosted that about 60 metres down the field and puts his team in a brilliant attacking position early in the game. So less than 3 minutes down, and Launceston line out just inside Taroona's 22. Yasi Alatimu, number 8, with the throw in here. Interesting, unfamiliar player in the number 2 for Launceston, Tony Gasaloga. We certainly haven't seen him on the stream, but Taroona picked that one off, and Rob Clayton runs into the contact. And Taroona with another opportunity here. Holman hit nicely by Alatimu. And now the ball comes back to Kazarine. He'll look for touch. Again, it's hard. Ball's out, but taken back inside. So great work there by TJ Peters to let that ball come over the line. He had both feet in touch. Ball was clearly over the plane when he's caught it, but Taroona threw that one back inside their 22, and Launceston, another line out, also stolen. Maybe knocked forward. Lagrange might have copped one over the shoulder. No, ball's gone straight. So Taroona win again. Towie there, just running in front of Smith for Taroona. There he is, Towie, head down, barreling through. Lean, picking and driving here, Taroona, and they've taken it outside their 22 again. Now they're going to shovel it across to Tuivasa. Good run by him, but he's taken to ground by Agaiava. Now they find Towie again. He's a dangerous player as he gets his hands on the ball, but he's dropped it as he hit the ground, I think. No, I thought Referee Craig Gardner might have been going for the whistle. And Bird gets past 3 would-be tacklers, finally taken to ground by Nundalevu. And Taroona looking really good. The ball in hand. A lot of short plays here, not chancing the kick. And then Lagrange spots some dirt. Again, this one bounces nicely for Vonnie Yao Yao, and he gets back. Can't get past the tackle of Harrison and Bird, but the support gets there, and Peters throws a flat one for Gasologa. Gets his hands on the ball for the first time. Lyle now getting around the first tackler. Pick and drive from Nundalevu. Agaiava doesn't really know where to go there, but slips the tackle of Holman, who stays down to make sure he doesn't give away a penalty for being offside. And then Alatimu with the quick play. And here he is again. Gasologa, pull back to Lyle. Launceston now just getting into the swing of the game here. Keeping their hands on the ball. Agaiava, another big kick. Jewindham can't quite read it, loses it in that little tiny bit of sun that's there, but eventually gets it and has a bit of a run and kicks it just off the side of his boot. Not too bad a result there for Taroona, and that ball's gone out. A couple of metres on Taroona's side of the 10 in their own half, and another line out to Launceston. They'll be wanting to do a better job of these, so they go to a slightly shorter line out, only 4 this time, after losing a couple. And just managed to get their hands on that one. And in the scrap at the ground, it comes back Launceston's way. Agaiava finds Bell. Now they come wide. Good solid run there from Kelena Yavatoka, but it's been turned over by Launceston. So the knock on at the base there. Great day for rugby out here. It's quite cool. The breeze is quite cool, but it's dry. We've got plenty of dry grass over the field. Haven't had too much rain by the look of it this week. Ball comes now. Taroona win it, and they push it wide to Eddington. Oh, a lovely tackle out there by Truder. And they might have turned it over here. No, there's been a knock on. So Launceston, Taroona just get back and win that ball. It was a great tackle by Truder to hit Eddington way behind the gain line. They're just getting a little bit slow to get there in support at the breakdown. Over the shoulder there on Clayton by the look of it, but no, not speaking by the ref. And he's through. Tuivasa gets past a couple of tacklers and then takes a few with him and puts his team well into an attacking position now. And there's space out wide. Nice ball for Chaperon Tucker. He gets a left boot on it, comes off Launceston, and Taroona are going to have a line out. Oh no, it was dropped by Chaperon Tucker. Didn't quite catch that. Just as he goes to, oh yeah, he's hit the ground before he kicked it and then it come off his right foot. So that will be scrum right in front of our camera here to Launceston. Peters will be looking for Agaiava here. Decides not to kick, gives it off to Truder. They go wide. Kalinagat Fatoka finds his winger. They don't let him go. Oh, no, it's Vonnie Yao Yao from the fullback position. And now they're causing some problems. Truder slips through. Gets the pass off. There's some great support play out here from Launceston. And the winger out there, Josh Futoa, goes all the way, puts the hand in the air, a little prematurely, with Chaperone Tucker behind him, but it's a great score there for Launceston, and they've put some points on the board. They'll be happy with that. Get the first 5-pointer on the board, get their team out in front early with 10 minutes on the clock. Great play out there by Launceston. Really good team play to get around through Taroona. There were a lot of balls passed out there, and they did a excellent job to be able to get through. Peters with the conversion, and they're happy with that. So Launceston go up 7-0. A little bit against the play. Taroona have had a really good attacking push down, and Launceston, instead of kicking out of with their exit, decided to run it, and successfully so. Took that ball. I think Agayava at the first receiver was only about 7 or 8 metres out from his line, and they've run that one 95 or more across the field and down to the bottom corner. Taroona now will need to recover and look for some points. Ball just arriving. Legrange with it in his hands. All the big guns from Taroona out on this side, looking for this kick chase. Holds up in the wind, but it's very deep and no one's near it. Chaperone Tucker gets up, but the pass comes, and a huge bump there from Nundolavu. Puts Robert Clayton on his backside, and then eventually Harrison makes the tackle, but they miss Alatimu. He's got it in one hand and he gets it away to Truder. Truder's taken down by Bird and loses it, and the ball ends up out. Last very desperate tackle there from Ollie Bird from Taroona. Catch that tackle on Truder there. Oh, the pass from Truder was fine. It was just went to ground though, not able to be taken. So we'll come back and another scrum. Right, Taroona holding just steady, but the ball pops out. Kazarine now has it, looks for a switch, finds Bird, but they're onto him. Peters had him covered, but he manages to slip away. Now Balducci shrugs off a high attempted tackling from Alatimu. Now Eddington has it. He looks wide, decides it's not on, and is taken again by Peters. A lot of tackling pressure from TJ. And they're going to lose it here, Taroona. Very lucky Dewingham. Wasn't sure where to go once he got tackled. And look for the pop, nearly lost it. Taroona recover, get some numbers around the ball. Towie, another solid hit from him. Now Lean, nobody with him though. And he's through, the big fella, number 6 for Taroona. Team captain slips through. And then they're looking to spread it wide quickly. And missed kick, not a great option there from Kazarine for Taroona. They had some numbers out there, and he's gone the boot and put it out on the full. Let's have a look back at the run here through on the replay. This ball behind here, no one really chasing. I'm going to go back. There's a Taroona player down in back play. Michael Smith, number 26, front rower, having some attention way back 10 metres inside Taroona's half. So referee Gardner decides that stop the clock there. Teams will go and have a chat. Taroona go into a huddle there. They want to get their heads back in the game, I think. They started pretty well. Now find themselves 7 points down. While they're waiting, I'll give you that Taroona team list. Probably still a few injuries out for Taroona, that players they would love to have out there. Missing a few. But it's the best they've got. Best they've got at the moment, with no more reserves competition. They've got their top 23 that are available. But, you know, the word around the ground, Launceston will be favourites to be winning today, and they're showing that already with their 7-0 scoreline. Line out throw taken by Launceston. They missed the jumper. They go over, looks deep. Truder has it now. Vonnie Yao Yao. They dish it off to Lombard, who hasn't had the ball, and he just runs easily past Chaperon Tucker. The ankle tap from Eddington, though, stops Lombard. Chaperon Tucker is going to have to make a much better attempt at defence than that one, because Lombard will run around him all day, and he'll love to see that weak tackle. Lovely hit from Lyle on Holman. Just heard the noise from James Holman. Now they go wide. Oh dear, is there arms in that tackle? I don't know. It was a diving off the feet at the legs of Eddington. Hopefully he's all right. High kick now from Taroona. It's going to hit the ground. Could be anyone's ball. Strange tap back there from Harrison, but it's taken by Balducci, who's then driven back by Vincent Bell. So some entertaining rugby happening out here. It's a bit chaos on the Taroona side, though. Jewindham with a shocker of a pass. Out in front, hit the ground. And a lot of uncertainty in this Taroona side. They're not looking confident with the ball in hand out wide. And the scrum will go to Launceston. Inside Taroona's half, right on the 10-metre intersection of the 10-metre and the 15-metre from the sideline. Ball into the scrum. Solid set. Picked up by Alatimu, fends off, but they get him. Look to hold him up, and eventually gets to ground. The ground's just shoved out of there. And now the ball comes. Truder taken to ground by Kazarine around the ankles, and they go quickly. Defence gets across there, though, but Eddington doesn't have the pace to get Vonnie Yao Yao, and he steps off the left foot. Dodges Jewindham, the fullback, who ends up flat on his face, and Vonnie Yao Yao's through. And another one to Launceston. Puts them well out in front now. But Eddington doesn't have the pace to get Vonnie Yao Yao, and he steps off the left foot. From Vonnie Yao Yao. And Peters from right in front is a surety, and Launceston now take a 14-0 lead, playing some confident rugby. Don't need the ball in hands a lot. Taroona have had plenty of possession and not been able to do a lot with it. However, Launceston taking their opportunities and putting the pressure on the Penguins. Don't forget we have another match being played at the moment up at Devonport between the Bulls, Devonport, and the Burning Emus. It's an elimination semi-final, that one. Whoever loses, that's the end for the season. And right now, score up there, Devonport 0, Burnie, however, are on 7, so a converted try to the Emus. See, we'll keep you posted on some of the scores throughout the day for that one. Over right here in front of us, Launceston, comfortable lead at the moment, 14-0. Taroona really need to just maintain some possession, I think. Doing some good work with the ball in hand, but once Launceston get it, it's just all too easy. And again, Lombard gets across the field, throws a high looping pass, and Agaiava's into some space. He throws a pass out looking for Truder, but Truder can't get his hands on it. It's gone into touch. And Taroona will have the line out. Looking dangerous though, Lombard, second time he's had his hands on the ball there. First time he made a great run down the sideline. This time took it to centre field. And made a good option to make that pass to Agaiava with the looping ball over the top. And he found himself in space. So Taroona with a put into the scrum. Had a couple of line breaks, a couple of the forwards from Taroona. Actually, it was Anthony Lean and Tuivasa also had a semi line break, got through the first line of defenders, but other than that, they've not looked overly threatening, Penguins, and now they're being pushed back in the scrum. Kazarine taken by Peters, just so much pressure from Peters, and now Truder's picked it up, and they've got numbers here. Kelly Yavatoka needed to pass that one quickly though. Instead, he tried to go himself. So the turnover in that situation, Launceston were looking pretty threatening. Just the pressure here, check on the replay. Peters. Kazarine turned his back. And Kelly Yavatoka, he gets the ball here. He needs to pass now, hangs onto it instead and goes to ground, loses it. They had a couple of players there. I think there were 3 outside him. All he needed to do was release that ball and they would have been in. Nandolavu was there. Agaiava was there and he had Lombard outside him. So bit of white line fever. Now Lagrange finds some space. He wants out of here, so he kicks it. It's going to hold up in the wind, but Vonegauer takes it nicely and gets around too. Throws a forward pass though. Just getting a little bit overconfident, Launceston. They've 2 tries up, but they're kind of playing like they're 5 tries up. Don't need to throw some of these passes. Be better off just trying to slow it down and grind Taroona into the ground. But, yes, the mistakes coming just out of being a little bit over-enthusiastic. I guess it's probably how you end up scoring 160 points like they did last week against Glenorchy. So play entertaining rugby. Towie dumped on his head there. Now they find the ball, Taroona, and Tuivasa taken solidly. It's looking good, Tuivasa. Made some good runs, good contact against, and really making his opposition work for the ball in defence. They go wide here. Got a little bit of space, but not a lot. Now Eddington with the ball. Steps off his left foot. Gets past Peters. Past Agaiava as well. Lean goes blind, but then decides that back infield looks better. And now Holman with a run. And driven back nicely. Good combination defence there between Bell and Nandolavu. Balducci, after a solid run a moment ago, gets his hands on the ball again. And puts Taroona inside Launceston's half. Looping ball. They go wide. Tuivasa, but again the defence is up really quick out wide. Launceston just shutting down Taroona's potential for attack with these long passes. that they're making, trying to get into attacking positions. And the ball lost there, so I'm not sure, didn't quite see what happened at the bottom there. Lagrange looked like he tried to pick it up and Bell messed with him. Now Agayava comes around the back and gives the right foot. He's going to get it over the head of Shapper and Tucker and it'll bounce out. So it's a nice kick. But just, yeah, not sure what happened back at that. Back at the ruck. Just looking back on my replay, it certainly looked like Bell was offside, but maybe the ball was out and he was permitted to grab that. Right now on the screen, Gardner having a conversation with Taroona captain Anthony Lean. And Launceston just yelling at their hooker out there, telling him to get back 10. Ball comes to Towie, steps inside Alatimu and runs into Tom Scarf. And Taroona go quickly again. Got to get these passes out a little bit wider. They do. The ball for Bird. He steps inside. Taken nicely by Kelena Yavatoka though. And Tuivasa really making his presence known today, Leon. Getting his hands on the ball a lot and really putting some aggression into the match, causing some headaches for Launceston defenders. Taroona more possession here. Aidan Fenny will have replaced Michael Smith, I'd say. Ball comes to Towie and backwards, and the knock, just knocked backwards there. Eddington, a nice step off the left and then back right. But he's taken by Nandolavu, one of the very consistent and excellent players this season for Launceston, playing at number 7. Now Holman gets past the first tackler there in Wood, who missed him. And now, good hands, finds Towie. So Taroona, a lot of effort to make not a lot of ground. Now they push it wide. They got Bird in a tiny bit of space. He steps back in and he's got through. They're going to hunt him down from behind, and he gets past Vonnie Yao Yao, eventually taken by Lombard coming over in cover defence, but it might have been high. And they've got room out wide here, Taroona. They need to throw it quickly. The only defender out here is Agayava. Here comes the ball to Clayton. He throws a horrible pass above Dewindham's head, and that allows plenty of time. So slow ball movement from Taroona. Lombard doesn't get out of the way there, doesn't roll quickly enough, so they'll be penalised, and a penalty advantage to Taroona. Got their tails up now. Ball goes wide, Towie. Launceston's defence has been structured really well. Missed tackles are just letting Taroona with a couple of line breaks. Here goes Tuivasa. Again, just gets past Peters. And now Thomas takes it to ground. Ball goes to Holman. He needs to pop here. Couldn't quite release it quickly enough. And they go to the left again. Nice step from Kazarine. Just runs apprehensively into Tom Scarf though. Good little step though from Kazarine. Balducci now straightens. Finds the second row of Launceston right in front of him though, and they're going to come back for the penalty earlier. Couple of options I think here for Taroona. This is the location for the Kyle Lombard not rolling though. It's quite a few phases before. And Taroona kick it into touch and will have an attacking line out. Apologies for the loss of commentary there, just some people standing on our power cables. Right, back into it. I'm not sure what happened. There was some complaints from the Launceston crowd about whatever happened. We're having a scrum. So Launceston won the scrum, I think, and knocked it on. Didn't look like there was anything there. Taroona scrum. Balducci looking to pull it out. Oh no, Towie there at the number 8. Takes it in. And the ball's picked up by Lagrange. There's a cheer. No, it's held up. And that'll be a line dropout. Not sure, can't see. Who was that? Anthony Lean. But held up. And the line dropout for Launceston. So good defence by the Tigers close to the line there. And Peters puts a big one down. Chaperone Tucker takes it on the chest. Got a bit of space here. He wants to get past Lombard, and he does. Peters, though, rips it out, and then it bounces off Balducci. And Launceston have it back. So nice little battle out here between Lombard and Chaperone Tucker. That time, Chaperone Tucker getting past the defence of Lombard. Truder gets penalised for the high fend. Anthony Lean copped that one high. Clearly not intentional, just put the arm out and the timing wasn't quite right. Got up a bit high and up under the chin of Anthony Lean. Flattened him too. Entertaining game. Launceston defending nicely here though. But Taroona looking threatening. I really want to score down here, Taroona. I think that's been down here for a while, and I want to come away with some points. Currently 14-0 down. They'd like to peg that back. Clayton with the throw. They go to Harrison. Oh, it's not a good throw though. Again, just that little bit of breeze. It's a slow throw to the back, and Launceston will have the scrum. Breeze is reasonably advantageous to the Tigers at the moment. I think it's just picked up a little bit as well. Didn't really pick up a lot on the camera. It's kind of gusty, but Launceston now free kick to Taroona, just going in too early, and Towie comes in quickly. Gardner doesn't like where he tapped it though. He'll go again. And good contact, nice tackle by the Launceston hooker. They go wide. Aidan Fenny driven back by a wall of defenders. It's close to the line. Go to Towie again. Maybe close to the line there. And picked up and taken, I think Lewis Thomas puts the points on there for Taroona. Really nice little pick and drive. Caught him napping on that side. And Taroona happy with that one to put some points on the board and narrow that margin. Pick that up on the replay. Thomas, you can see him there. He steps in. All he had to do is just move it about 2 feet, I think. So grabbed the ball, pushed it over the line, put the points on for Taroona. And the Penguins back in it. 34 minutes on the clock. And rewarded for persistent plays. Really solid defence from Launceston. And the kick's good by Kazarine. So, converted try in it. Peters taking his time coming back to the middle. Pretty good crowd out here today. You can see them on the other side. There's also a good 50 or 60 people on our side of the ground as well. Lots of them with their chairs out next to our tent. They love the little hill over this side that we've stolen from them this year. James Holman looking for some space. Taken around the ankles though. Towie just being an absolute trooper with the ball. He loves to hit that into contact. Kazarine out to Tuivasa. Little kick through. That was a good option. It's hit the ground and it's going to roll into touch. Nice little kick through. Clever one that time. They've been getting up quickly, and that's the strategy, I think, for the Penguins out there. They want to stop these outside defenders from Launceston getting up too quickly. And the kick through was a good one. Tuivasa has been good today so far. Launceston with the line-out throw. After losing a couple early, they've done well. Alatimu just manages to hit Callum Lyle. And Peters is through. He's so damaging in here. Gets past everyone except Ollie Bird, and Callum Lyle's right with him. Taroona now get there. A bit of a dive over there. I thought Nandolavu went off his feet looking to protect that one. Truda gets up, taken to ground by Eddington. Now Lombard getting involved. They go wide. Ball comes to Dudman this time. Got their tails up now. Launceston coming close. Inside Taroona's 22. Bell. Interesting option there from Agaiava with a kick through. It's taken by Chaperon Tucker. He's carried it back inside though, and he sort of slipped over and grounded it at the same time. He's under a fair bit of pressure, so the kick was pretty good. It looked a little bit high. Looked like no one was really onto that, but not a bad kick through in the end. Resulting in a Launceston scrum 5 metres out from Taroona's line with probably 5 minutes left on the clock, maybe a little more with a couple of injury stoppages. And Taroona going to have to defend here. In this Launceston back line, particularly out wide, they've got some pace and some flashy steppers. Taroona, sorry, going to have to defend very well. Alatimu picks it, goes to Peters. He'll just about score from here. This time it's Lombard. He gets taken out though. So great defence. Chaperon Tucker managed to hold him up. And he's been taken out. So we'll come back for a 22-metre dropout. One of the confusions in the game. When is it a line dropout? When is it a 22 dropout? Lombard took the ball inside the in-goal. And then he also took it out over the line. So the 22 dropout rather than the line dropout. And good support in defence there. So Chaperon Tucker got his body on the line in front of Lombard, and the supporting defenders came over and drove him out. Peters to Nandolavu, looking for some space. And he finds it, gets easily past Kazarine, and he's got the goal line in front of him here. Eventually just taken down short of it though, and they're close, Launceston. Peters now dishes it off, finds Scarf, who can't get the line. Well, he's very close too. Here comes the ball. Alatimu will have a hit up here. Plenty of defenders in front of him, but he spins inside the 5 metres. And I think Nandolavu there penalised for coming in on the side. Taroona come away with a sigh of relief for them, I think. And they'll look to kick to touch. And the kick doesn't make touch, so they go fast. Now, defence has got to get across. They do. Tuivasa takes down Agaiava. And then Bell decides to have a run. Try to rip it from him, but he's too strong. Now they go wide, find the hooker, Gasaloga, out there. And don't know what's happened at the bottom of the breakdown there. Ball seemed to be in Launceston's hands. Bird, good cover defence. And he takes Launceston into touch. And the line out will be Taroona's. So we've hit the 40-minute mark. A couple of minutes of overtime. Taroona would be pretty happy for the final or the half-time whistle to blow now. I think deep in this defensive position, it's hard to kick out. Harrison gets it. They pop the ball out, and a shocking pass at the ankles of Towie, and hands the ball back to Launceston. So bad mistake there after a good line-out win for Taroona. Towie down, just getting his breath back. I think he's just a bit more probably frustrated at that pass. And this gives Launceston another crack at it from 5 metres out. Give you another check of the scores up at Devonport. It's a close one up there too. So we've got 14-7 here. Scores up at Devonport are currently 14-12. Burnie with their noses in front by 2. Here we have Launceston, prime attacking opportunity. Ball comes out. Agayava takes it to the line. Well taken there in defence by Tuivasa. They push it wide. Nondolavu gets out there, and he gets through way too easily. Just runs around the outside of Ish Juindum, whose defence can't grab him. And he scores week in, week out, this man. And he puts another one on the board that pushes his team's lead out right before half-time. Disappointing for Taroona. Mistakes in defence there. Mistakes when they had the ball in possession. And that's going to be disheartening for the boys in blue, because that try was way too easy. Just defence of some of the Taroona players really being shown up in these tight clinch positions. Peters and Nandolavu really are damaging runners. We see them scoring a lot of tries last week. I think between them they may have had about 7, possibly even 8 tries between the two of them, I think. And Taroona really need to shut them down better than that. Peters with the kick. It's going to be away to the right, and we'll probably see half-time. We will. So at half-time here, Launceston 19, Taroona 7. It's been a pretty entertaining first half. Neither team really able to get on top of a lot. It's been pretty evenly matched, but mistakes from both sides in a way, letting in tries. Taroona's defence really needs to sharpen up if they're going to get back in this game. We'll take a break at half-time and be back with you with the second half soon. Okay, welcome back for the second half. 19-7, Launceston. Launceston scored 2 tries in the first 20 minutes. Put the pressure on Taroona. They came back and scored one themselves, but right in the dying moments today, in the first half, Launceston put on another try, and Taroona now have got a tough job to come back with a 12-point deficit. They do have the wind and they've got the sun behind them though, so a couple of things that are going to help them out there. Kick, it's high, taken by Lombard. Nearly loses it, he goes to ground though. Gets there securely in the end. TJ Peters directing traffic. Tom Scarf. Taken nicely by Taroona. They get up and the defence comes across. Agayava, wonky kick, but gets to halfway. Horrible bounce for Dewington. He gets a bit of space. He's well under pressure though from Truder and Lombard. Kelani Yavatoka though gives away the penalty there. Deemed to not be releasing, and Taroona get away with that one. Breeze has definitely picked up. And a nice kick there from Noah Kazarine puts Taroona well into attack in the first minute. Excuse my lack of clock. Let's call that 1 minute lacking. So the wind is going to be of advantage to Taroona this half. Balducci with a ball in 2 hands, 3 dummy passes, and eventually gets taken in a tackle. Lagrange comes in, finds Lean, who gets met solidly. But the Penguins now on a rampage, looking to go into attack. There's not a lot on out wide, and great work out there from Truder getting up on Tuivasa. Now Clayton runs into the defence of Launceston, and now they go to Lean. They're up quick, but he manages to just get around the outside enough to get his team moving forward. And then it comes back to him. So getting a bit hectic around the breakdown now, Taroona. Lagrange looking for someone, finds Fenny, who has nobody with him, and they're going to have to work hard to get there. They do. Towie now, he'll pick and drive. And they go again. So nice defence though from Launceston. Good discipline. Balducci needs to get himself to ground, and he does so. Pops it back. And Towie. Wide has not been the way to go for Taroona thus far. They've had only a couple of opportunities out wide, and now they've lost it. But we've got a penalty failing to release. It's always just unfortunate timing in those situations as the defender. You're trying to rip that ball. If their knee hits the ground before you rip it, you're done for. If you get it away before their knee hits the ground, it's a great steal. And in this case, knees hit the ground first. So Taroona win the penalty and go to the line out. Around about 5 or 6 metres out from Launceston's line. It'll be a great start for the Penguins if they could get some points on the board in the first few minutes. Not a good lift though, and Launceston win it. And now they come wide. Agayava, he's got a big boot and he roosts it. Doesn't make a lot of ground, but with that wind, it's better than nothing. If you had been able to keep that one in play a little bit further downfield, there was no one deep home for Taroona, and Dewington, the fullback, was probably still only halfway across the field in getting across to cover. And the line out goes. Taroona get it quickly and go wide. Balducci goes behind to Kazarine. Again, Taroona trying to go wide. The low tackle from Kelani Gavatoka is good. And getting scrappy again, Lagrange. Elusive little run. Taroona look to pick and drive. I think this is their strength, Taroona. The short ball's good, and they're getting close. Hands go in the air saying, yes, we scored, but then just short. And they're over this time. So the Penguins, short ball, and we got a yellow card as well. So it's all positives to the Penguins there. I'm not sure if we're talking about it's not a penalty try. Can't see exactly what's happened. Someone on their back for the Penguins, and I'm not sure who the yellow card is. It's TJ Peters. So that's going to hurt the Tigers. With Peters off the field for 10, and the Penguins back in it. With a conversion here, they'll be looking for 5 down, only to be 5 points behind and a man up. So Launceston need to regather their thoughts, because Taroona have been looking good so far and sharp, and have come out wanting the win in this second half. Conversion's good. Five points in it. It's a close one. And gave you the scores. I think it was 14-12 up at Devonport when we went to half-time here. The scores have changed up there. It's now 19-17 with the Bulls 2 points in front. So little change in the lead up there. No change in the lead here, but change in scores, and 5 points in it. So 2 close games around the grounds. Anyone could win both of these matches. We've got a close one here. Yellow card 2 for Launceston. Okay, Holman takes the ball. Solid contact and loses it. Now the Tigers with an attacking opportunity. Crowd likes it. Tackle from Balducci. Now they come wide. Lombard steps off the left. Just runs back into some traffic though. He loves this running across the field here, but he's not making a lot of ground. He's run about 40 metres and made 3 forwards, but he's pretty damaging. Pop from Lyle hits the deck, but recovered by the Tigers. And they throw that ball wide. Been turned over, lost in the breakdown. So Fenny takes it in for Taroona, and Lagrange thinks quickly. Vonnie Yao had got back, but didn't catch that ball, and he's now got to run it out of there. He's quick. He's going to find a gap here unless they can get him. He's easily found it, but he's run behind his player. Gee. Just run behind his own player there. So Taroona with a penalty in the middle of the field. Not a lot in that, I didn't think, but oh. Taroona go for touch and make it as well. So cracking game. The crowd's getting involved, trying to get Launceston back in the game, but this half is Taroona well on top at the moment. Vonnie Yao had a great run around there. He's just waltzed around the back of Kelly Yavatoka, I think, and he kind of had a little bit of pressure on. I think it was Lean who was in that position, maybe putting pressure on. I don't think Lean would have got him had that not have happened. Line-out's not good, goes to ground, but jumping across. So illegal line-out work there from Launceston, closing it up. And Lean goes the quick tap, but the defence is good. There's no way they were back 10 metres. Absolutely no way they were back 10. And he's lost it though, so mistake there. I can't see how Launceston needed to be behind that line. See Lean here, he takes this ball there. Oh, they're in front of the line there, Launceston, all of them. So get away with one there. and they'll feed the scrum. Who's coming to halfback? Truder is coming in to feed the ball in place of TJ Peters, who's got a few minutes on the bench. And in it goes. Get that one out. He goes to Agayava, who decides to run it. Goes wide, a wonky pass. Oh dear, the ball's bounced. Nearly scored there by Taroona, and they've taken it back inside. Great tackle from Jordan Eddington, and Vonnie Yao-Yao's had to put the ball down, and Taroona will have the scrum. So a really interesting option there when you're a player down to throw that wide cutout ball. And on the left hand there from Agayava. And that plan didn't work out for the Tigers and nearly ended up in Eddington getting that ball and putting it over. But in the end, the defensive pressure puts the ball back into the hands of the Penguins, and they've got a chance here. Very good chance here to look at taking the lead. Great scrumming from Launceston. They go to Kazarine. Not sure where to go there. Chewingham. Wobbly ball back from him as he hit the deck. Holman goes to ground. And a penalty advantage here to Taroona by the look of it. Referee's arm out. And they'll go wide. Great defence from Launceston though. Bird, such a scrappy player. So hard to tackle. He runs in, he's all legs and arms. Never know where to go. And so we're still advantage. Ish Chewingham for Taroona is down. That ball's been stolen. We're going to come back for the penalty. And referee's going to stop the clock. He's going to want to have a chat with Callum Lyle. Maybe too many penalties in this area, not sure. And he's going to call them in. I don't know, Taroona, whether they'll what they'll opt for here. They may be going to take the three. They're going to go for the kick. Won't give them the lead, but it'll close that margin down to 2 points if Kazarine can bump this one over. Well, the left foot, and it's good. Two points in it. And Taroona still a player up. Looking across the field. George Chaperon Tucker appears to have no substitution for Taroona. Sees, I think, Bird on the bench. And he's been replaced by Cody Hall on the wing. Lombard with the kick. Oh, beautifully taken. Good competition in the air. Scarf did a ripper of a job to take that. Unfortunately, it's been lost. So I'm not quite sure how that ball went forward. There was certainly a ball popped up there in between the players. Great competition in the air. Holman didn't pick that ball and he had to rush at it. And Tom Scarf leapt amazingly well. Jumped up and managed to take that in the air. Solid hit though, and they both hit the deck, and then the ball came loose. Taroona picked it up, I think, and knocked it on. Hard to pick that one. And Gardner was quite a way back, but from his angle that went forward. And now, nice pass from Trudeau, not taken, and that one's gone forward. No, it's not gone forward. Vonnie Yao-Yao steps. They need to take him. They need to shut him down. Lombard taken by Eddington. They need to hold him though. He manages to keep his feet for a while. They try to get in and steal it, but he's supported well by the players coming to the ruck. Braden Dorr on the field now for Taroona, and Harry Thomas, I think, has just come on for Taroona, and he's down right in front of me. I don't know if he's getting up. He's holding his leg. Launceston get around the outside, and Kelena Yavatoka scores for the Tigers. Gets around the outside, and he's down too over there. I think he's probably just tired after that good run. But disaster out this side for Taroona, with Harry Thomas having just come on, still on his back right in front of me. And Launceston pushed that lead back out safely. Kelena Yavatoka's still down though in that far corner after scoring. So it was a good, it was not a bad attempt in defence over that side from the Penguins, but unable to stop the big centre for the Tigers. And he's down, and Thomas is still down here. So we'll see the play held up a little bit for a while, I think, while we deal with Harry Thomas. And Cole Lombard will look to convert and put his team further in front. Make it a 9-point lead. Thomas has managed to get to his feet. That's a good looking kick. Just out to the left. So 7 points in it. Thomas looks like he's going to continue actually. It certainly wasn't looking good. No, he's gone off his feet. So still 2 players down. Doesn't appear to be a single official from Launceston actually paying any attention to Kelena Yavatoka out that side. Taroona have got Thomas covered. They're looking like they're getting some tape out and going to strap something for him, but we will have a little bit longer of a break in play here while we wait for both of these players to either take the field or be replaced. Looks like Launceston are calling for a replacement. Gardner hasn't even seen Thomas over this side, so someone will need to tell him. And TJ Peters just returned to the field. So back to 15 on 15. I think Gardner's just seen the now, so he's going to come over and see what's going on over here. Looks like Thomas is going to want to stay on by the look of the attention he's getting. It's all happening. He's moving all right. It didn't look like it was good news for a while. He was in some pain when it initially happened, but good news for him. He's back on his feet. Looking at Launceston, they have subbed Kelena Yavatoka off, and Mara Katoa is on the field. Don't think TJ Peters is on the field. I thought he came back on, but he's on the field. So he's going to come into first receiver. Oh, there's a big change actually. A few shuffling around in the Launceston back line because Agayava's no longer on the field. And Katoa will come to halfback. Peters has gone to fly half, and in amongst that there's a knock on against Launceston. Up the northwest coast, it's been a seesawing game. The lead's changed a couple of times in the last 10 minutes. It's a 2-point ball game up there. Score's currently 26-24 with the Bulls back in front. They were down, I think 24-19 not that long ago, and have scored a converted try. So 7 points in it here, 2 points in it up there. Both games on the line. Taroona, good scrum movement. Bird is on the field. I'm not sure of the substitutions. It's Jewindham who's come from the field for Taroona. And we're coming back. Some illegal scrummaging, hinging at the scrum, I think, or by the look of it, from Launceston. Taroona have the ball dead in front. Win behind them. Will they look for 3 points here? Ball's about 35 metres out from the line. No, they're going to go for touch. The kick's just going to get there. No. Knocked forward, I thought. Yeah, knocked forward by Launceston in their attempt to keep that ball in. It's a good effort, but clearly went forward. Gardner's on the spot, and Taroona are going to have a scrum, and there's also a sub. So just checking that. Thomas is going to come from the field for Taroona. He's going to be replaced by Rob Clayton, who hasn't had much of a rest after playing most of the first half and only being replaced briefly. So yeah, Jewindham at fullbacks come from the field for Taroona. He's been replaced by Bird. So Chaperon Tucker is still on the field. And as I said, Agai Arva's come from the field, and Marta Katoa has come on into halfback for Launceston. Peters shuffling out to fly half. There's been another sub out there as well. I think we've got Truder now is playing at inside centre, and we'll probably see, I think it's Druava maybe has come into number 13. So subs happening with injuries. Great scrum from Launceston. They need to get that out. Taroona, they do. The ball comes to Kazarine, goes to Tuivasa. Just waltzes up to the line and is taking an easy tackle. Go wide to Kazarine again. They're looking for some space out there. They've got the ball to Bird. He gives it off to Chaperon Tucker. He's around the outside, the fast speedster, and been called into touch by the assistant referee over the far side. So good run around the outside by Taroona to get that ball out there, but unable to convert. There's no way we'll be able to give you any better angle than that. The officials are on the spot over there. Looked like a slightly suspect attempted grounding as well from Chaperon Tucker, but Launceston now, Gasaloga is going to have to throw into the line out, and it's not a bad throw too. No, not straight. So it's a nice hard throw, but not straight. And Taroona now 5 metres from the Launceston line with the scrum. It's all happening. Seesawing match here in terms of momentum, but this half's been all the Penguins, except for that one passage where Launceston managed to score that try on that far side, and it's a close one. Too close to call and make a prediction at the moment, but we're about halfway through this second half. Taroona's never been in front yet though. Launceston scored the first 2 tries, but Penguins have been really good since then. And they look to try and exert some force here. Now the ball goes to Kazarine. He goes to Eddington, who's taken, and that one's stolen. Peters is done, and he's going to go. He might be yellow carded here, and that'll be a red. I think Peters is going to end up with a red card out of this. Oh no. So it wasn't Peters. The yellow yellow card, I think, is Druava. So Druava with the yellow card, and Taroona now a player up. Gee, they're close. Launceston need to get out of there. We go to Eddington. He goes back inside to Hardy, and he's met solidly and driven back. Launceston need to be very careful here, because any penalties could see another yellow card. Tuivasa now, a metre from the line, pops out. Briggs too strong. They push it wide here. Holman bounces off one. Again gets close. The defence of Launceston is impeccable here. Now they go wide. I don't think wide's the place to go. Tuivasa to Eddington. He goes behind Bird, and Lombard gets on it. Bird with a wonky kick, and we're going to come all the way back. Another penalty. High tackle. And they're coming thick and fast, the penalties against Launceston. Might see another one in the bin if they're not careful. Taroona lucky there, so a bad pass. Went behind Bird, and Lombard pounced on it with the boot. Okay, now they come. I think they're over this time. They are. It's it's Enzo Balducci who puts that one on for the Penguins. And with the conversion, we could see the scores tied here. Sure is close. And what a match. Can the Tigers stay in it there again? They're a player down for a while. They got another about 8 minutes, I reckon. Maybe 7 with the man sitting on the yellow card chair. It's all happening. So 2 points in it here at the moment. Potentially even. And if you want to, I'll give you the scores up at Devonport as well. So the lead's changed there. And the score's 27-26 with the Emus 1 point leaders. So we've got a couple of great matches on our hands. And Kazarine puts the 2 on, and we've got a tied game here. We did have a very long period of injury out here. It could have been 4 or 5 minutes even. So looking at the clock, I missed the first minute. So there's really 26 minutes on the clock. But 4 or 5 of those have been in time on. There's some interesting discussions about refereeing. Apparently Launceston don't think the referee is doing a very good job. Want to know who they can complain to. Anyway, Taroona now with the ball in the hands. Kazarine kicks down the right-hand side. Again, Vonayao seems to want to let the ball bounce. He made no attempt to get across, but as long as he gets his hands on it, he's a threat. He's got a great step. They need to shut him down. They don't. Hall does it. It's been turned over. Hardy looks for the pass. Threw it to nobody. And the ball's been turned over again, and the Penguins scrum in an attacking half of the field. Launceston just losing their minds out here. After a really, really solid first half. Just some really thoughtless play in a lot of cases. We're going to see another sub over here. So Nisa Rodabua is going to come on, and he's going to replace Vonayao after that. Just watching Vonayao, he's a little bit too easy going when that ball gets kicked down there. Nisa Rodabua is a flash, and he is a dangerous one to have on the field if you're Taroona. Scrum to Taroona. Great scrum by Launceston. Taroona just managed to get that back in the end though. And ball comes wide. Tuivasa gives it to Eddington. Gets it around to Bird, and they've got some open paddock in front of them. Lombard though gets across quickly and shuts Bird down. Now Eddington gets there. Ball now comes to Lean. They're in a dangerous position here, 10 metres out. Oh, Aidan Cannell on the field now, and he loses it. should have taken that one. He was bracing for, well, running into contact before he'd actually caught that one. So a mistake there from the fresh man on the field for the Penguins. And that gives an easy turnover to the Tigers, and they'll look forward to booting the ball out of here. Although knowing TJ Peters in that first position, he could do anything from here. He's just as likely to run 95 metres and score a try as he is to kick it out. You've got Peters, you can see him in the backfield there, just behind Katoa with the ball in his hand. Got Niels Truder on the opposite side of the scrum in a very similar position. And they go to Peters, and he shapes to kick, and he does. And the trusty boot finds touch. So a great clearing kick there from Peters. Just will give his team a little bit more time to breathe while they're a man down with Druava in the bin. Oh, the throw from, I don't know what happened with the throw there, but Clayton's throw, no idea what happened. We'll pick that up all the way back on the replay. He looks, I don't know whether he was deciding to do a short throw or whether ball just stuck to his hand, but it was just picked off. I think it was just a shocker of a throw. This time, again, not a great throw. They're really hard for Harrison to take, and Launceston are pouncing on that ball. Taroona just managing to maintain possession, though. Now Balducci, he's been a strong runner today. They've got to get to ground, though. He does. And they need to roll. And ball goes to Lean. Oh, the double pump, and he gets it away to Bird. But Bird tackled solidly. And the pass from him knocked forward. Now Lombard. Don't want to let him get through that gap. Someone takes him, and they do. Hasn't had the ball in a while and relishing an opportunity there. Oh, this man, he's going to score from here, Nandolavu. No, he's not, but he gives it off to Peters. And TJ puts his team back in front. The crowd love it. TJ loves it. Those two, Nandolavu, TJ Peters, both scoring machines. And when they're working together, it's going to be tough to defeat them. Sorry, wrong scores there. Other side. Launceston 29, Taroona 24, and this is a gimme for Peters right in front of the posts. But we've got a cracker of a game on our hands here with a bit more than 10 minutes to go. You always know that when the game's in the clinch, TJ Peters and Marika Nandolavu are going to lift, and Peters puts the points extras on, and it's now 31-24. Crowd are excited. A few hundred people here, I reckon, all up. Maybe 150. Lagrange with the kickoff. It's high and it's short, and taken by Bell. Very sure hands, Vincent Bell. Katoa with the pass to Nandolavu. Solidly hit by, who was that? Fenny, I think, for Taroona. Been stolen here, though. And the penalty will come, so Taroona over the top of that one. Launceston didn't engage in the ruck there, just made it way too easy for Taroona. No engagement at that ruck, and the ball was just free to be stolen. Looked like it was stolen, and then also ripped back by Launceston. So in the end, that turns into a penalty for holding on the ground. And Kazarine taps that one over the sideline. And Taroona with a line out, 25 metres out from Launceston's goal. This is where we've spent the vast majority of this half, and we're going to see Druava come back on the field. Launceston with this 7-point lead, back to 15 players. Ball comes, taken by Lean. He pops it around. Clayton, wonky pass though, and Hardy gets it. He needs to get some support around him. He does. Cody Hall. And again, Lean with Holman. Kazarine goes to Tuivasa, steps in, but taken by Truder. And Taroona get to the ruck. Almost the entire back line in that one ruck. They haven't looked threatening in their back line, Taroona. It's been their forwards who have really done the hard work. Now Hall has got some space in front of him. He's got TJ Peters to beat, though. Peters just gets his body in front. Nandolavu gets to his feet and steals it. And those two again combined at the other end to score some points, and now they're combining in defence to turn the ball over. And a pass comes out. Katoa slips out of a tackle, slips out of two, slips out of three, gives it to Truder, who's under immense pressure, 4 metres from the line. Launceston in a perilous position. The kick comes. It's going to come to Chaperon Tucker, and he's got room in front of him, but he slips, and Lombard's going to pressure him and steal it. So it's all happening here. And now Nicer Adabua, wonky kick finds Kazarine. He'll like a bit of space out here, but he won't like having TJ Peters. And they're all over. He's going to be penalised this time. Turnover after turnover after turnover. Both teams. Great work in the end there from the Tigers, and an entertaining passage of play. Turnovers happening everywhere. And TJ Peters will kick this ball into touch for his side and get them out of that defensive position and put them into Taroona's half. Exciting rugby. And sounds like a sub. No score change up at Devonport. 1 point ball game. Bernie with their beaks in front. Gasologo with the throw. It's terrible. And illegal lineouts. I think he's dummied the throw there. Taroona with the tap. Ball comes out wide again. Wide's not where they've been successful today. Eddington haven't seen a lot of him threatening in attack. Here he goes, getting through a few tackles. Strong run there from Lean. Eddington again shrugging off, but he's close to touch. Does a good job to stay in, keeps his foot in. Fenny running around, runs into Lachlan Wood, who takes him to ground happily. They go wide again here, Taroona. Short ball this time to Holman, who's been shut down all day, Holman. We've not seen a lot of threatening from him. Bird has a bit of room, but the pass doesn't put him into space and he has to run back in field. Holman again. And they go wide, but there's just so many numbers in defence out there for Launceston. The Taroona decision-making's just been really poor about where they go. They need a bit more direction. I think they've gone a few rucks towards the middle of the field and then throwing it wide isn't working. They're going to be a lot more damaging if they keep the ball in tight. It's where they've scored today. Harrison coming in now. Shovels it out and finds Cannell. He just taken to ground there by Bell easily. Just losing a little bit of structure here, the Penguins. Scarf. Good pick and drive there from Lean. He now gets through that first line of defence And Taroona, this is where they are looking dangerous in those pick and drive situations, but they just keep throwing these wide passes. And Launceston in the end, the counter ruck's good. They managed to keep their feet there, though the hands on the deck from Bell. Now, I've called this a maul. They've picked the ball up and won it. Launceston, can they get it out of here? I think they can. No. Ball trapped in. It was interesting that they were allowed to continue that ruck there. Bell, who was over the ball, put his hands on the ground a couple of times. Didn't touch the ball. But they did win it fairly. Managed to get the ball up, and then Taroona held them up. About 5 minutes to go. And players tired out here with just a stoppage in play with Leon Tuivasa getting some attention. Substitution coming, looks like Dudman's going to come back on. Maybe Briggs. George Chaperon Tucker coming from the field for Taroona, being replaced by Jack Berry. And not sure who Dudman's replacing. Yeah, Jack Briggs. Briggs coming from the field. He's had a good defensive effort, Briggs. He's a big boy, and geez, hard to get past. Didn't see him with his hands on the ball, but he's a bit of a danger too in attack. Taroona now. What have they got here? The wide ball's not working for the Penguins. They need to look for something else. Lachlan Wood with the arms out saying, "Sir!" Just driven back, but the ball was not in the scrum. We'll reset. Few minutes left on the clock still, though. We've had one particular period of 3 or 4 minutes, I'd say, of where the time was off. Could be 2 or 3 minutes left. Entertaining game here. Very likely that we'll see these two teams again, no matter what happens today, in the grand final. And the ball's in. What's Lagrange got here? Katoa will put pressure on. He goes to Kazarine. Kazarine to Tuivasa, who's been great all day. He's always been able to hit into contact there and create options for his team. Ball comes to Kazarine. Taken by Nisa Radabua. And goes to ground. Lagrange, where's he going to go this time? He goes the other way to Holman. Great discipline in these last 10 minutes from Launceston. They had a lot of penalties earlier on in the game, but the last 10 minutes of defence that they've had, they've been really good. And Bird manages to get to ground there under pressure from Peters. And Lean coming in. Ball one. Great work in there by Dudman. I'm not sure who was with him, but the counter ruck was great. Taroona tiring here, and their ruck work needs to be better. Peters gets it, and he's booted it over. It's going to bounce for Bird. He's under a lot of pressure. Manages to fend off here. Between Bird and Berry, they couldn't get there. Bird gets to ground, though. And the ruck on the ground sees the ball. So Holman now. Ball stolen. Now we got some danger. It's been good today, Gasaloga. Bursts into contact. And Lombard. I don't think I've seen Kyle Lombard pass the ball once today. Looks to step again there. Had a couple of flash players on his left there. I'd have been looking to give the ball off to Nandolavu. Now the kick through from Katoa. Who's going to get there? Nandolavu catches it. Just taken by Bird. Not held onto, though. Who's he got with him? Katoa. Oh, gee. I don't know. I don't agree with that decision. I think Nandolavu slipped the tackle. He did go to ground, but there's no way Bird was still holding on to him. And he's been penalised for continuing. The crowd don't like it. Pretty classy work from the Launceston crowd today. It's great to see them get involved with the players on the field. Jordan Eddington giving a bit of lip back to them. But they decide to run it. Kazarine looks for Lean, who leaves it behind. Gives it to Eddington. Interesting call, but he's dropped it. And the crowd love it. Great, crowd's awesome. Love it. I don't think that we can actually hear what the crowd is saying on the microphone. It's far enough away, I think. That's good. I get to have a chat with them as well. It's the best. Okay, Launceston now. Great attacking position. Peters, dummies, gives it to Lombard. Just stays on his feet. Strong in contact. Katoa buries, gets that ball out of there. Taroona with some contact on Scarf, who's been outstanding today. Katoa with a run, nearly loses it. Dish it out wide. Truder. The defence from Taroona's good. Berry makes the tackle. Peters comes into the halfback position. Great hit on Callum Lyle, but he rides it nicely and gets another metre forward. Bell. No, not Bell. Wish these Launceston players would have different headgear. It's Braden Dorr. He's come on this half and has been busy as well. Launceston now. Katoa taking his time. Peters, Lombard, again steps. He's forgotten how to pass, but he'll probably run around them and score on the other side if they don't tackle him. Stays on his feet. Oh, he dishes it off and passes it to Taroona, and they've turned it over. Lagrange trying to get it, but the counter ruck comes over the top. I've lost it forward though, Launceston. Taroona are going to have to do something here because the time's going to be up unless they can get down the other end. It's a long way from here. 90 metres for them to score. It's not something they've looked threatening scoring from this far out today, and they're very tired. A pick and drive is going to take them 15 minutes to get there. Who's going to make a line break? Could be Bird. Bird's probably been one to do some good stuff out wide. Kazarine decides to kick it, which is a really unusual option here because the game's nearly over. Peters gets back. They throw it wide. Nandolavu, two of us is going to have to take him, and he doesn't. And the big fella in the number 7 for the Tigers puts it beyond doubt. The crowd love it. The Tigers love it. And that is the ball game here at Royal Park. Marika Nandolavu scores a winning try, puts his team out of reach of the Penguins in a classic encounter. Great, evenly matched game up here. The score looks pretty comfortable when you look at it, 36-24. It'll potentially be 38-24. TJ Peters with the kick to come. But we've had a cracker of a match here. Very, very close. Interesting decision from Kazarine to kick there, and just gave the ball back to Launceston, who got around the outside, and Marika Nandolavu, all class. Meanwhile, up at Devonport, the Bulls have pulled ahead by 2. Got a feeling they might be a little bit behind on time for us. It's a different time zone, Devonport, I think, isn't it? It seemed that that they were still playing when we were at halftime. It's a kick goes across the front from Peters, and that's full time. And an entertaining game of rugby. Taroona, mountains of possession in the second half. Mountains and mountains of possession. But the defensive efforts of the Tigers, too good all day. Jordan Eddington blows a kiss back at the crowd. Everyone loves it. Great day of rugby. Well done to the Tigers. that gives them a rest next week, and they'll be playing in the grand final. Who knows who we're going to see next week? We'll got still that match between the Bulls and the Emus yet to be finished up there, but the Devonport have their noses in front, so looks like they'll be travelling to Hobart to play against Taroona next week for the second place in the grand final. But what a great day of rugby. We will be with you wherever we are next week, I hope, to bring you the preliminary final. But this was a great game of rugby, and I'll call it quits there while I've still got my voice. Thank you, everybody. We will see you later.